Say, kids, what time is it?
It's kind of like watching TV, but, in your car.
4.7 The Cave, Mike the Intern and Jay Stevens. It is Dark Side of the Stream. Episode 124 this week was Jay's pick. Pamela.
One of my many women. One of my many women.
Now, it's funny that this thing was called Pamela, a love story, because it's more of our love story with Pamela.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
we all had that.
We had our kind of love story. When were you introduced to Pamela Anderson?
I mean, Baywatch or Playboy, probably. I mean, I would assume.
Didn't you see her in LA one time and you saw a story about? Didn't you see her, or was it just Tommy?
No, where did I? Was she there? Well, I know I went to Nikki Sixx's wedding after party thing on the beach in Hawaii. Somehow I scored passes from like a security guy. It was Tommy Lee or Nikki Sixx's like security guy, but he was like his sober coach guy, God, was she there or not?
Sober
I don't really remember
coach.
if she was there or not.
God.
But yeah, it was.
It just blows my mind.
It was a wagon, man. My life's so crazy.
It's so crazy.
On the beach, though, watching fireworks.
Oh, I can't imagine.
Standing right next to those dudes. Bro.
I keep going through. I'm watching this documentary, and I'm just thinking to myself, like all the thousands and thousands of dudes that are like my age, your age, that are like, oh, I remember the first time I saw Pamela. I think Baywatch for me, probably.
Some of those Playboy pictures too, like with the cowboy boots and stuff. I think I remember those.
Yeah.
Somewhere in my life.
You go back and when you watch this documentary and you see her when she got what was the Labatt's Blue, the beer that's how she got discovered.
Little sweet innocent girl.
And the look that she has in that point versus where she does now, it's like almost like a completely different person. But that is LA, and that's just the way it goes. Anyway.
We got producer. Our producer Ollie's pushing buttons over there.
So anyway, it's interesting to see how these things come about, and also when you look at the world now, right, in the way it is, like when she came up, that was the time of the world when you would go into a mechanic's garage, right? And there'd be naked chicks and calendars all over the place.
Yeah.
You go in any office, that stuff got passed around. People used to give them away as presents, like all this stuff.
It's not still around?
As far as I know, it's not.
You're right.
It's a completely different world. It
now
doesn't
I think
exist.
about it, we need to do some decorating in here.
So my question is, do you think if Pamela was 18 now, how would she have made it at all?
She took my phone out right there. OnlyFans, maybe. I mean, I don't know. What
TikTok star, Instagram influencer.
I mean, I don't know. She's a dime a dozen at this point.
That's what I'm getting at.
It was just she got the golden ticket of.
She just fit right in the end. Yeah, right at the end.
Somehow they just wanted her in Playboy. She just got picked. I don't know. A different world now.
Yeah, different world. All right, we'll get to more next. Pamela love story, Dark Side of the Stream on 104.7 The Cave. Mike the Intern, Jay Stevens back in the studio. It is Dark Side of the Stream, episode 124. Pamela, a love story on Netflix. So you get into her story. It's pretty incredible where she came from and where she ended up. Again, I think it just kind of fits into the way the world was. It's not that way anymore. It could be a completely different thing. But eventually the Playboy thing leads to TV, film, eventually Baywatch. Yes, I've seen like the Baywatch intro, but I have a confession.
Uh-oh.
I have actually never watched a episode of Baywatch.
I don't think
I've
seen an episode either, but everybody knows the intro.
Yeah.
And the Hoff, come on.
Yeah, dude. in the Hoff. So that was a pretty big deal for her. The other big deal, and it's pretty evident that her one true love in life was Tommy Lee. Well, do you think after everything,
couple, man?
Well, they were, but they seem to get each other. I guess they're kind of young at heart, crazy, but not. But yes, they are.
He's definitely crazy.
Oh, he's insane. Man. I mean, he's still sharing nude pics on Twitter.
Yeah, he's still showing pics on Twitter.
Man. But also, do you think because it's pretty evident to me that like if she or he came back to Pamela and said, "Hey, let's make this work,"
they'd make it work.
She would do it.
Yeah,
all day.
Yeah, that really broke her episode where she said, that she felt like she felt because that's the father for kids and they should be together. That's pretty deep stuff.
Yeah,
that and like the whole thing with her always wanting to be a real actress and nobody would just look past the boobs.
And
so
then
kind of felt for her a little bit,
that part is obviously. I mean,
and just wanting love, like all these marriages, like dude.
but it's
That's a lot of
check who
marriages.
you're seeing, you know what I mean, and the type of person she is and the people she's getting involved with. Back to what you said about her not getting any serious acting roles. Look, the reason you got jobs in the first place was your assets, and you wouldn't have had any of that had you not had that. So you can't blame what ended up happening to you because of that stuff.
You got to embrace it. You got to just embrace it, you know.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. And obviously, you can hear my son Oliver back in here. He did not watch Pamela: A Love Story.
Why not?
We did.
Oh, the Uncle Jay's got
get to
something
more
to show
of it
you.
next. Dark Side of the Stream on 104.7 The Cave. 104.7 The Cave. Mike, the intern, Jay Stevens, and my son Oliver.
Say it.
You gonna do it?
Talk on the mic.
Is that your deep
I
radio
like how
voice?
he makes a deep voice and he makes his lips.
It's funny that we're in here with my son Oliver on a day that we're discussing Pamela: A Love Story on Netflix. But listeners and viewers, I did not let my son watch this documentary, which leads me to the next subject of this. Of course, you could not do a documentary about Pamela without talking about the sex tape, which I will admit, after admitting that I've never seen the Baywatch video, I definitely have seen that sex tape. Which,
well, was it the first viral video? Is that what they were talking about?
It's if you want to before the I would say yes, a proto viral video that was passed around by every guy, every teenage guy in the
illegally
world.
Trying to download it from the internet back then.
At like 5 megabytes per minute. It's like the slowest.
I'm like,
grainiest. You know what I mean?
Bootleg
you were better off if a buddy of yours had it on
Wow.
DVD already than downloading it online.
Man.
Now, again, the thing is, like, I'll admit, I've seen it, but when you watch it, it's like it's almost as if, and I know this was probably, again, they go back to it was stolen and released without their knowledge, yada, yada, yada. But when you watch it in context, you're like, it's almost like they were trying to set up like their own kind of movie, adult film, because you know what I mean? There's so much
goofy,
interaction in it. You're just like,
I just think
when are you going to turn around and watch this?
Part of them not getting money, they screwed themselves. Like when they got the offer, why not take the money, man? But she didn't want it. So her life seems to be real trippy now. Like,
Yeah, it seems like for her now, I don't want to use the word regret, but there is a lot of regret. And especially when she looks back at certain choices and things that she did in her life as an adult, older woman, you can kind of get the feeling that there's certain things I think she would have done differently if she had the chance.
One thing that they did leave out, though, that I thought was interesting, she was talking about having to raise the two boys and dad wasn't around much, she's a rock star on tour or whatever. Mm-hmm. The kids were in boarding school.
Yeah.
They were in Canadian boarding school, right? They're raised. So they left that part out. They failed to admit that part, that neither parent really raised them. They kind of
and that's the thing. Like, Rihanna, right? Her and her boyfriend or whatever had a kid, and after the Super Bowl performance, she's talking about how they didn't have nannies. They were parents to begin with. Like, that's something we're supposed to be proud of you for.
No.
You had to raise your own kids.
Yeah, that's what we're supposed
That's the thing. If we're going to go on a tangent
always
here.
Happens with the stars. Yeah.
If we're going to go on a tangent here, kids, I see this so often, and it drives me nuts. You finally did it. There's Oliver, my son, right there.
Always on air debut.
I'm putting my money where my mouth is because we're doing live radio right now, and my kids talking into the microphone. Why we do it? Why?
You give up careers for kids all the time.
I chose to have children that I wanted to raise, that I wanted to be a part of their life. These parents that have kids that drop them off at daycare at 7:30 and don't pick them up till 5:30.
Or the nanny takes care of them all day. And
like,
night.
I get like in a single parent situation, and you got to do what you got to do. That is the way it is. And I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you single moms and single dads out there that are busting your butt to make money so you can put a roof over your kids' heads.
The rich ones.
I'm talking about the rich parents or stay-at-home parents that work at home that just drop their kids off, leave them there, or they go home and screw off all day. Why did you have kids? What was the point? The same thing with Pamela and Tommy. It was like, dude, why did you guys have kids?
Yeah,
there's no point. If you're going to literally have kids and send them away until they're 18,
share raising them. I know,
what's the point? It drives me crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer.
It is a bummer. It's stupid as hell. The world's got enough people. You don't need.
Raising kids is an amazing experience.
It's a huge. It will literally define your life,
and it's
responsibility
too.
Yeah, responsibility, but it will if you do it right.
Yeah.
It will define your life. That's Oliver.
There
And he
you go.
agrees. You agree with me,
Oliver
right?
chimes in.
You agree?
Hey, everybody.
All right. Thank you. It's Dark Side of the Stream. We'll get to our conclusions next on 104.7 The Cave.
Yeah.
That's Oliver.
So
It's
good, Ollie.
Dark Side of the Stream, episode 124. Interestingly enough, we're talking about Pamela, a love story, but Oliver wanted to be on here. You can't see him on camera because my wife refuses to let me exploit him on social media.
Man.
No, I do. I doesn't. It's not. We just don't. We can only afford 2 cameras. Actually, one of which is Jay's camera phone.
We share
We share
camera,
one,
actually.
and then we have a camera phone on the other one.
That's how
But
we do.
anyway, let's talk about how many sex tapes we would give this documentary.
3.
I know. It's like she's just trying to capitalize on the momentum of Pam and Tommy. To be honest with you, her book or whatever, and it didn't seem like we learned anything new. And you brought up the boarding school thing that they didn't even talk about in the damn documentary.
Right. And it was produced by her son, or her and Tommy's son, so that was kind of cool, I guess. But kind of weird, that he's making a documentary about his mom being in Playboy, basically, and her wild sexcapades and
That's
many
the thing.
partners.
Like, I've seen those things
trippy.
pop up on Reddit, and they're like, ask Reddit, and the guy will be like, "Hey, how many people in here have found out you've got a sibling or a parent that was in porn?" Or and the stories are just like, "Oh my god, it's unbelievable." But yeah, I was super uncomfortable. There's no way if my mom had been in Playboy and stuff. I don't ask me to produce your documentary. I don't want to.
I mean, can you imagine your life if your dad's Tommy Lee and your mom's Pamela Anderson? I mean, it might have been better those kids went to boarding school. You know what I'm saying? They might have had a really wild life.
Anyway,
hey, everybody.
Oliver's not giving us any more time. I would agree with you on the stance that it is definitely like a 3 in my opinion. Just because it's not, you're not rewriting anything, you're not talking about anything that's
cool
new.
To see her now,
it's good. I'm glad that she's doing well. She seems to be doing fine.
Yeah.
And the fact, again, that this all started because of a beer ad.
Yeah. Just happened to be at the game, too.
Yeah.
Good for her, man,
The next series that we're going to discuss in Dark Side of the Stream is going to be I Am Vanessa Guillen. And she was 20 years old when she was found murdered at a U.S. Army base.
Yep. Back on track.
I was going to do My Lover, My Killer, but that's 10 episodes, and we don't have time for that. We might get to it down the line, but we're going to talk about I Am Vanessa Guillen. I think that's how you say it. Just picked it randomly. As always, you can watch us do this live, Facebook or YouTube every Thursday, 9 a.m. You can hear us do it on the air Thursday at 9 or 6 p.m. during Jay's show, or just download it as a podcast on our 104.7 The Cave app. I am Mike, the intern. This is Jay Stevens reminding you. Oh, yeah. There's Oliver over there. Reminding you.
We watch
movies. So you don't have to.
Hey, everybody.
Lead us out, buddy.
Stay. Tell him the mic. Tell him. Tell him.
Do it.
Hey, everybody. That's it.
Dark Side of the Stream, 104.7 The Cave. See you.